In the years since the minimum wage increased, unemployment has decreased and more people are seeking employment. While it cannot necessarily be attributed to each other, it's something the Department of Labor is researching.
I think that's ongoing. I think that's a natural occurrence, especially with the economy, being stimulated. Maybe, perhaps, we're not sure yet. That's why we want to look at that study, because of whether it's the wage increase or economic stimulation because of more businesses, more construction happening because of the military buildup in those activities, and so forth.
The public law increasing the minimum wage from $7.25 to $8.25 an hour requires a one-year impact study to be done by the Guam Department of Labor and GITA on the effects on several aspects of Guam's local economy. Department of Labor Deputy Director Sam Mabini says they are working with the University of Guam.
They are partners of us with the department, and they do our research for Guam. And so we've been speaking with them and looking at what kind of parameters should we be looking at, what data sets should we be looking at, so that we can determine whether it has been a positive or negative impact or whatnot.
While the minimum wage only increased by $1, senators agreed to resume discussion on future increments based on the findings of a one-year study. Mabini says DOL is also looking at other studies done by other states on wage increases.
And at the end of the day, we'd like to see whether has it impacted, taxes, benefits, wages, spending, perhaps, demand for social services. So those are all the different parameters or factors that we want to look at, and that will require an independent group or persons to study and see what has happened in the last year.
Vice Speaker B.J. Cruz earlier this year issued a FOIA request on the status of the study, which must be completed by March 30th. Mabini says the request for proposal was set, but they're still working with GITA to identify and secure the funding to carry it out. Will they meet the deadline? Mabini says they like to.
I know I read some of the transcripts from the public hearing just to kind of gauge what the response was from the community at the beginning of the bill when it was first introduced. And, there are varying opinions. And it'd be interesting to look now how much of those opinions were true or on the mark or off the mark. I'm sure it's somewhere in between.
In the meantime, Governor Eddie Calvo also wants to hear from the public on whether another increase will be good for Guam. He's currently accepting feedback on his Facebook page. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintaniza.